Welcome and welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I think I got it that time. Okay, so if this is your first time, welcome. All of my dishes is easy and delicious to make. For those of you that's been with me a while, you know I don't like to keep you waiting. So let's get into it. Now, can you believe that it's like fall already? Do you see these designs? I went into the store and they had pictures of up for Halloween. Okay, first let me take a step back. Let me tell you what we're making today. So I've been making delicious eats, right? So I said, what about a tasty treat? We're going to make chocolate banana cake. We're going to make plum cake and we're going to make a strawberry cake. Let's get started. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make these cakes from home. And again, you know, the holidays coming up. So if you want to get a treat, like a goodie treat on the table for your family and friends that's coming over, this is an easy way to do it, an affordable way to do it. So this is just a banana, nothing special here. And they were on sale this week, so that's why we're doing a banana chocolate cake. And I'm just going to mash this up. This with a back of a spoon. Can you believe it? Are you like me, still waiting for summer to hit? Because I am still waiting for summer to show up. Like, I don't know what happened. It's like summer just disappeared. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure. Okay. So I'm just going to keep squishing this up. Mashing it up with the back of a spoon. But yeah, if you have a fork, you can use a fork as well. You don't have to take out a processor or anything like that. Okay. And I just think bananas and chocolate goes well together. But again, if you don't like bananas, just make it all chocolate cake. Or you can make it all banana. And I like to, put fruits in it when I can instead of artificial flavors. And this is a great way to use up your fruits if you think it's going to go bad. Okay, so there we go with that. Now here goes the chocolate. Yep. Now I'm just using Hershey because I had some left over, but you use any brand that you want. There we go with that. And you won't believe how easy and fast this cake is to make. And again, if you go to the bakery, and I know I'm always saying this, if you go to the bakery and you see the prices at the bakery, it will give you like what they call a sticker shock. Even if you're just buying donuts or any little things, even Etterman's cake. I was like, yeah, I know I can do a better job than that. So I said, let me make this myself. And here we go. I'm just stirring it up to combine the bits of banana. And it's fine that you see some bananas in it. That's absolutely fine. I would love to taste that in a cake. Now I'm going to come in with 1 egg. And I'm using a medium eggs, but as always, ingredients and measurements will be in the description box. And we're going to stir that up. And you always want to start with your wet ingredients first. You don't want to mix the flour in yet. And I'll tell you why. If you overbeat it, and that's what will happen, it won't make for tasty treats or good eats. It makes it like extra doughy. Okay. Now, I just think vanilla tastes perfect with banana and chocolate. And I'm using the dark vanilla because to me, the dark vanilla, I don't know, the flavor is stronger to me. If I could get this open. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can't believe it's fall already. I went outside and I said, why is it so cold? And I had to realize we're into September. That's why they have Halloween decorations up already. And I'm like, wait, what happened to summer? Summer is gone already? So you'll let me know how you're doing and where you're from, where you're watching this from. Is it already cold or is it still warm? Okay. Now, I'm going to come in with brown sugar. If you have light brown sugar, dark brown sugar, or white sugar, that's fine. You use the sweetener you like. I'm just using this one. Why? Because I have it on hand. But I do like the way brown sugar tastes in a cake. To me, it tastes a little bit different from white sugar. And I'm going to put in about a half a cup. And again, you get to decide how sweet you want your dessert to be. And that's one of the great things about making a dessert from home. because I've, paid for certain or bought sweets. And like everyone else, you want a nice dessert for the family. So you just buy something and it's been like over sweet. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but like you just taste sugar and nothing else. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm just going to add just a little bit more. There we go. Now I'm going to come in with 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And I know some people use oil, but if you use oil, it won't really give you a flavor, to give the cake a flavor. You can use butter, you can use margarine. If you have no choice, then of course use the oil. And that's to keep it moist. And the difference between both of them will keep it moist. Now the oil will keep it moist, the butter and the margarine will. However, the butter and the margarine will add flavor and the oil won't. Okay, so there we go with that. Now, I'm using self-rising flour. Yep. Now the reason why I'm using self-rising flour is because if I would use all-purpose, I would have to add a leavener to it. I would have to add salt, baking powder, and baking soda. But if I use self-rising, I don't have to do that. So now I'm going to come in with about a half a cup, and I'm going to sprinkle it. I don't want to put it all in one place. And since this is a mini cake, I don't need that much. I did say that, right? I did say I'm making a mini cake. So now we're just going to stand until everything is combined. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of milk. And you use the type of milk you want. 2% oat milk, almond milk. They have so many different milks that's on the market now. You have so many more choices. And I'm going to come in just enough to loosen it up. So that's about 3 ounces. 3 to 4 ounces. If I need more, I add more. But I don't think I'm going to need any more. Okay. There we go. Look how fast that came together. And I'm just going to stay until it combines, and then I'm going to stop. Okay, there we go. Now we're stopping. Again, you don't want to overbeat it, because if you do, it will not taste that good. I mean, I would eat it anyway, but some people may complain. Okay. So now these are the mini pans. Some people call them ramekins, whatever. You can use a bigger one, and you can always tweak this recipe and just make it in like a big regular 9x9 or 8x8. And I'm just going to spray it with some canola. Again, if you're new, you'll know I hate, if you've been with me a while, you know I hate for things to stick. And so that's my greatest fear. So now I'm going to add a parchment. I don't like the way that one look. There we go. And just because I have a phobia, I'm going to spray it again. Make sure that it comes out. Okay. Give it a stir. And now we're going to pour. And I'm going to pour about halfway and stop. Or a little bit more than halfway. There we go. Oh, I think it could take all of it. Yep. Well, there we go with that. Okay, now we're going to set this one to the side. And now, remember I said we're making 3 different cakes, and we are. So the next one we're going to make is one of my favorites, strawberry. And I remember when I was growing up, you would have a strawberry cake that looked pink, but didn't have any flavor of strawberry, or didn't have any strawberries in it. I don't know if that's like your history of strawberry cake, especially the box cakes. So I never really liked the box cake for strawberry. I always like making it myself. So I have some strawberries in here, so I'm just going to put it right in here. And again, I am going to add, I'll put this to the side. We don't need this one right now. I'm going to add vanilla, not vinegar, vanilla. And again, strawberry and vanilla, perfect together. And now I am going to mash this up. And I'm just going to use a potato masher. I call it a potato masher, but you can use the back of a fork if you want to. Again, I'm going to mash it up as best I can, but I'm going to take a knife and cut it up as well. I think that's what I should have did to begin with, is cut it up with a knife, but I didn't. So now I'm going to take this up and cut. And again, I love chunks of strawberries in my cake. If you don't, you could put this in a blender, you could put it in a food processor, but I like it just the way it is. I like when I bite into it, I can actually taste what it is. So I don't mind if it has pieces of strawberries in it. But if you don't like it like that, then just put it in a blender or a food processor. And now again, come back in with some brown sugar. And you can use any type of sugar you want, or any kind of sweetener. That's that. You see how easy this cake is coming together? Just like that. And I love that because you can make, a variety of cakes for your family. Now, let me stir that. There we go. So right now we have the sugar, we have the eggs, we have the strawberries. I love that. Big pieces of strawberry, so when you bite into the cake, you know exactly what you're eating. Now, I'm missing something. I'm going to come in with milk. No, I'm going to hold up on my milk. So now that we have all of that, I did put in my egg. Oh, that's what I forgot. I'm going to come in with a little bit of butter. And again, just 2 tablespoons. And that will help to keep the cake very moist. The last thing you want is to have a cake that's so dry. I mean, I know I'm not the only, well, maybe I am, but I hate a cake that's very dry or dry at all. So there we go with that. And I've had my fill of dry cakes where you nearly choke trying to swallow it. And you're trying to be polite. And you know what? It's even store-bought cakes that I had that happen to me too. Not just homemade cakes. So I'm definitely going to add some milk. And again, about 4 ounces. Just enough to loosen it up. Take a minute. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So please share this video. Binge watch the channel. It would really help. It costs absolutely nothing. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit, a touch more. And again, that's simply for moisture. You don't want a dry cake. There we go. So this is going to be our strawberry cake. Okay, I'm going to stop stirring because, again, you don't want to overstir the batter. And here come our other ramekin or baby bake pan. And let's see, what did I do with my parchment paper? There we go. Do you have to put parchment paper? No, you don't. But I have this great fear, like I always say, of stuff not coming out because that used to happen to me all the time. That happens to me all the time. Okay. So now we're just going to repeat the same process. Do you not see how easy this is? How affordable this is? And I don't know why, but when you go to those like fancy bakeries, do you ever realize the small cake costs more? The mini cakes cost more than the big ones? Yeah, I've seen that, where the small cakes cost just as much, if not more, than the big ones. Okay, this is the last one right here that we're going to make. And this is a plum cake. Now they calling it a plum cart, right? It's because they're saying part plum, part apricot. Hey, if you only have plums, use plums. If you only have apricots, use apricots. Use what you have. And I always rinse all my fruits in vinegar and water. I am going to remove the skin because I don't think the skin will make very good eats. So I'm going to remove the skin. And it's just like, I don't know, peeling anything. Not a banana. I would say it's like peeling a apple. But the skin is a little bit softer. And I love plums. I'm surprised I was able to get some since it's going into the fall. Look at that color. I love that color. Now I'm just going to start cutting it up. And again, I'm okay with having chunks of the fruit itself in my cake. But if you don't like that, you can mash it up. You can put it in a blender. You can put it in a food processor. But again, I'm okay with it. And I think I'm going to do one more. Because I really want the flavor to come through. You know, eating a dry cake is bad, but eating a cake and you can't figure out what it is. Like, is this the vanilla cake? Is this a chocolate cake? I guess I've had some bad experience. You let me know. What is your favorite cake? And have you ever had a cake that was just a little bit too dry or didn't have enough, I don't know, flavoring or was oversweet? Again, when you make it yourself, these are all the stuff you don't have to worry about. You get to decide how sweet, how much flavoring you want. And then we go, there is a little pit in the center of this, so that's why I have to stop. Now I'm going to cut this up into some more small pieces. And clean hands is your best tool in the kitchen. It really is. Okay. Yeah, I love to bite into a cake and taste chocolate. Or bite into a cake that's supposed to be strawberry and taste strawberry or banana. I don't want to have to tell myself I'm eating a banana cake and, you don't really taste any banana. Okay. Now, I am going to mash this just a little bit. Just a little bit. And that will help me to release the juices. And the flavoring, actually, too. Now, I'm going to come in with, again, same thing, sugar. And they have so many different sugars on the market. So like I said, if you don't like brown sugar, you use the sugar that you like. But we're going with brown sugar because that's what we have. And I do like the way it tastes. Now, I know what you're thinking. She's going to come back in with vanilla. Nope, not this time. This time, I'm coming in with cream. Can you see that? I hope you can. This is a cream flavoring. Oh, cream essence. Now, this thing cream would taste delicious with plums. But again, if you don't like cream, you like vanilla, use vanilla. You get to choose. You're the boss. Okay, so now we're going to stir this up. Look at that beautiful color. I love that. Oh, that's so beautiful. You know how good this is going to taste. You can just see it. Now we're going to come in with the egg. And we're going to stir to combine. Once the egg is beaten up, you can stop stirring, but we're just going to make sure. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with, again, 2 tablespoons of butter. And did anyone go away for the summer? I didn't, obviously. That's why. And maybe that's it. Maybe if I would have went away, I would feel like, okay, I went away for the summer. Now this is the fall. But I guess because I didn't, I'm still waiting. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're waiting to enjoy yourself because you haven't. But I'm not going to complain. I know there's much, much worse things than not going away for the summer. But if you did go away, leave in a comment, where did you go? If you don't mind. And when I like to travel, when I do travel, I like to have, I don't know, a delicious eat and a tasty treat from that region. And I forgot where I was at, and I had a plum cake. I don't know if it was in San Francisco or Cayman Islands, but I think it was in the Cayman Islands. And I'm going to add a little bit of milk because, as you can see, that's a thick pad of it. Is that not a beautiful color? That is absolutely a beautiful color. Okay, so there we go. And we're just going to stir to combine the milk. And you'll know when it's absorbed. Oh, boy. Okay, so when it's absorbed, you see all of it just mix in. It'll become one color. And there we go. As soon as that happens, just stop stirring. Yeah, we're going to spray again. I find this so much more affordable and even enjoyable to make my own desserts. I think I enjoy it because it's affordable. You see how that works? I don't think I would enjoy it that much if I was eating it and it was, I don't know, prices for a cake, for 3 little cakes like this. I'm not even going to try to figure out how they come up with these prices for a simple dessert. Okay. So that's the third cake. And I'm going to get these in the oven. And it's not going to take that long to bake because they're so small. But I'm going to cook them at 300 for about 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes, I'm going to give it a look. It may go up to 25 minutes, but I doubt it need to be 30. Okay, let's get this in the oven. Now look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Now look at the plum cake. You can tell this is the plum cake. It looks like the strawberry cake, but it's not. This is actually the plum cake. This is the strawberry cake, and this is the chocolate and banana cake. Now it actually did take about 30 minutes, and I cooked it on 250, 300. I cook it pretty slow because I didn't want it to burn. But again, everybody oven is different, like I always say. So if you were to put yours on 300, it will probably be done in 18 to 20 minutes. But I did cook this pretty slow. But don't worry about that. Everything will be in the description box. Now, I can leave it just like that because it's gorgeous just the way it is. But you know me, I'm not. I'm going to put a topping on it. So let me set this to the side. Now, do you ever realize when you get the frosting, I said topping, but I mean a frosting. When you get the frosting from, I don't know, out of the can, like Betty Crocker or whatever, it's usually very, very, very sweet. And that's just it. Just sweetness. And okay, let me move it. It's usually sweet and thick. And that's all to it. Just sweetness and thickness. I don't really like it too much, to be honest with you. I will use it in a pinch, but I'd rather make my own, what they call frosting. I call topping. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. This is real fast and real easy. Okay. Really, because you know me. Everything has to be fast, quick, and delicious. So we're going to come in with some milk. I'm going to come in with about a cup of milk. And you can use any type of milk you like. But the key to this is to have this milk kind of cold. So you want to keep it in the fridge for a while. And it's nothing special. Jello. And I'm using vanilla, and you'll see why in a minute. You can use any flavoring you want if the base is vanilla. Oh, and by the way, I remixed the batter of the cake off camera, and I added cinnamon. I forgot to use that when we was on camera, so I just want to let you know I did add cinnamon. Okay, so now we're simply going to make Jello. No, it's dry Jello, but we're going to make pudding. Now, of course, people always tell me I have an accent. So, pudding. There we go. We're going to put that right in here. And as always, I forgot my whip. I'll be right back. Now, I called it a whip, but it's actually a beater. That's what I call it. So now I'm just going to start stirring it up. This will sit up pretty fast. But at this point, everyone knows how to make pudding because the directions is right on the back of the box or on the side of the box. And as you can see, it's setting up already. And I'm going to add a little bit more milk. And I'll show you why, because I want it to mix really well. So there we go. I'm going to add about a little bit more milk, and I'm going to stir real fast because it will set up, it will thicken. There we go. Please take a minute, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. It costs absolutely nothing, I assure you, but it really helps the channel. Trying to grow it, so please, your full support means everything. Okay, what I'm going to add to that, I know you're thinking, what's so special about pudding? I'm going to use Cool Whip, and I'm using the extra creamy one, but you don't have to. You use whatever you have or whatever on sale. If I could just get this thing open, it always gives me such a hard time. And I had it in the freezer, because this you really want to keep cold and wait until the last minute to use it. And wouldn't you know I'm having a hard time opening this? It's the same thing like if you ever take any kind of painkillers and you can't open up the container. Okay, so here we go. If I can get this thing open, yes, there we go. Now I'm going to add the Cool Whip to the pudding. Look how thick it is. That's what they call extra creamy. And it may say extra creamy or extra thick, or you can use the original. So you choose. They even got Cool Whip now that has less sugar. So if you're watching your sugar, you can do that as well. Okay, so here we go. We're going to mix, 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 mix. And trust me, if you make this, it will not sit up on the table or in your house for a very long time. As soon as you bring it out, everyone will tear right into it. I promise you. That's how good this is. And I'm going to keep stirring. Try to get this as smooth as I can. There we go. You just don't want any lumps if you can help it. And again, I'm going to eat it whether there's lumps in it or not. So, to help this stick up, to help this thicken up, I'm going to add gelatin to it. Just a little. Not a lot. So I'm not going to use the whole pack. So it's usually a whole pack, and I'm just going to use a sprinkle because I do want this to stiffen up. Okay, so we're going to add just a little bit. And I'm going to stir again. And I'm going to split this batter into 3 because obviously I have 3 cakes and I want to do each topping a little bit different. Okay, so here we go. And if you have some left over, guess what? Eat it just as it is. You cannot go wrong. And I doubt you're going to have any left over, but if you do, hey. Eating plain pudding, I have done that so many times. It is delicious. Call in the little ones. They will help finish it off. When it comes to dessert, it really won't go to waste. Okay, so now, same thing here. I'm going to add some here. Okay. So in this one right here, I'm going to set the original one right over here. In this one, this is going to go for a banana chocolate. So I have a little bit more banana left over. And I'm going to take this. I'm telling you, all of my utensils just go away. And I'm going to cut up some bananas. I'm going to use the back of a spoon because I don't really care how big they are. Okay. Now, I'm just going to mash it up on the side of the bowl. And I want the chunks there. I actually do want that in there. So I'm not going to mash it until it beat it down to nothing. But if you don't, hey, you don't have to do this. You can leave this out. Now, we're going to frost the cake. We're calling it frosting. Give me 1 second. There we go. So, I probably should have each one of these on their own separate plate. But what I'm going to do is try to separate them to make sure I don't get anything on them. That each topping doesn't interfere with the other one. So we know this is the chocolate and the banana, right? So here we go with that. I wish you can smell this. It smells absolutely delicious. You do want it to cool off before you put it on, before you put the topping on, because it will melt. So I did let this cool. Now, I'm going to set that one over. And this always happens. Now I cannot find where's my Hershey bar? Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go with Hershey. Nothing special. Now I wanted the Hershey Kisses, to be honest with you. But I couldn't find the Hershey Kisses. So I said, hey, just as well. And here we go. So remember, this is chocolate and banana. So we're going to add little Hershey's. I think I'm going to lay them down because I don't think you'll be able to see it if they stand up. Yeah, there we go. Is that not gorgeous? Is that not gorgeous? Okay. So that is banana and chocolate. So you know exactly what that one is. We're going to do this. Which one should we do next? We're going to do the strawberry and banana. No, this is strawberry. And I'm going to just add some red gel. And again, you don't have to. This is just me. I love to do this. Just to take it up another notch. And trust me, if you was buying this, yes, say you went into one of those bakeries, I'm not even going to say fancy, if you just went into a bakery, they add all of this to it so they can charge you outrageous, what I'm calling outrageous prices. So we're just going to keep staring until the colors start changing. And I think you can see that. It's turning pink. There we go. There we go. And that's a way that when you cut into the cake, you will know exactly what it is. So there we go with that. Now you see why I added the gelatin so it would stiffen up and hold up. Now you could tell everyone you went to the bakery and got this yourself. And, you know, they will believe you when they taste it. But you know what I find when you're feeding your family? As long as you love them and give them good food, good tasting food, they'll be just as happy. So now we're going to put pieces of strawberries that I just sliced up. I have some extra left over. So I said, you know what? Let's add them. And I'm sure you're better at decorating a cake than I am. But this is just me. And I remember when my grandparents and my grandmother and just everyone would make cakes like this. We loved it. We absolutely loved it. Now, I know you're thinking that's the strawberry cake, but it's not. That's the plum cake. So now let me get the plums. Now, here we come in with the plum. Now, you use any fruit that you like. If you don't like plums, you can use peaches, anything you like, pears. And I'm just giving them little slices. And now I am just giving it little slices. I'm going to add this frosting. And good. There we go. Now, I don't think you could go wrong with frosting. I'm calling it frosting, or you could call it topping. You can put as much or as little as you like. If you don't want to put any, you don't have to. Now here, this is the plum. The plum cake is what I'm calling it, because that's what it is. So, and I slice some plums. And I just like for people to know what it is they're eating. So by putting the plums on top, you know absolutely, okay, this is a plum cake. I don't know if you would call this a tart. No, you wouldn't. So it's a plum cake. But trust me, I've seen the prices of this in the city at the bakery. And if you can make this, if I can make this, you can make this and save a fortune. And your family will enjoy it, knowing that it came from you and it came from the heart. And so this is the perfect dessert for the holidays, because believe it or not, the holidays is right around the corner. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's actually right around the corner. So I'm going to try to fix my lighting. I don't know if that's any better, but there we go. So I'm going to lift this up. Do you see that? Strawberry, chocolate and banana, plum cake. 3 delicious cake with simple batters. Simple way that you can bring something delicious to the table, a nice tasty treat to the table with minimal effort, nice on the pocket, and the family will love it. So please, take a minute, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Until next time, enjoy.